All right, guys, so I was running through the Home Depot parking lot yesterday, and as I pull in, I couldn't help but see this amazing Land Cruiser stuck in the parking lot with a small little campsite set up, and couldn't help but walk in and mention how much I like the rig. Met Yvonne and Guido, and they're here in town traveling through, going to Moab and national parks and stuff like that. And one thing I wanted to do is kind of ask them, was there something that we could build sort of on the spot with a design, implement, cut, bend, form, install, and kind of show off our creative process here at Adventure Lab. And so they were kind enough to give us an idea or come up with an idea. And so now they're going to pitch it to us and let us see if we can make it, get it installed, and we'll take you guys along that process inside the shop, show you the lasers, show you the brake, and get it going. So you guys had some time to sleep on it overnight. You came up with a new idea. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we can. So the idea will be to have a box between the seats, which should be a little bit angled, so to have enough space for the handbrake here, and the platform behind it, which should be like a little bit above the floor to have the air flowing underneath.
Okay, yeah. So it's just like it's a storage box up front and then a platform in the back.
Yes.
Okay. That doesn't sound bad at all.
Okay, doable?
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
Okay, so this is a look at what we have in here now. So this is Mosquito, and this is Mosquito's little platform in the back. So what we're looking to do is create some airspace under the platform that he sleeps on or sits on. And then we're also going to replace the cup holder with a storage box. So that gives him some more room to store things up front. And yeah, and then we'll get that all secured to the floor and do some edge molding on the top to make it nice and soft, and make Mosquito happy and show you guys some cool process along the way.
It is.
So what I'm going to do now is try to get some preliminary measurements. So because the box is going to be fairly deep, we won't be able to form the walls and the floor in one piece. So what we'll probably start out doing is to build this floor section, and then we'll bend up some flanges and attach the walls with the flanges. So step one is just going to be sort of measuring the perimeter of what this thing needs to look like, drawing a little sketch probably in CAD, and then we'll cut that piece. And so the way we generally like to do these one-off projects is we'll build one piece at a time. And a lot of times I'll build a piece that we call kind of a check part. And when that check part goes in, that sort of validates your design that you have in CAD. So we'll definitely go ahead and draw the whole thing up. And then our check part will probably be the base. Because if the base fits, that's going to mean that all the walls are good. Everything really gets validated except the height. And that's obviously pretty easy. We know where the height needs to be. So we'll start out by making a few measurements, making a couple of notes on the phone, and then we'll go into CAD and start drawing. So let's get started. Hey Guido.
Yeah.
Can I show you something?
Sure.
So 550 is where we started the angle. So that's going to put us like right here. Is that good, or do you want to go back further?
Yeah, a little bit more back.
Good. Yeah, I think so too.
Because
so we'll go.
If we go off-road, I need this.
I'm going to go to like 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this enough for a bottle?
I believe so. We can go check. So there's 90. Do that, or you don't go bigger than that?
No, that's good.
Cool. Well, if you want to, I'll take you inside and show you what we've got.
Okay.
And see what you think.
Cool.
Okay, so what we have now, this is our main piece of the console wall. So this is a pretty big piece to throw into the brake. There's some potential interference with the tooling and the RAM and that type of thing. So one thing we always want to do before we really develop out a part is to make sure it's something we can produce. So what we'll do is throw that into our bending software and run that through the process and just make sure that we're not going to have any issues that we can't resolve. So this is basically a representation of the brake and the particular tooling that we have it set up on. Let's make sure that's 14, it is. So what we'll do now is we'll step through each bend, and then this will show us if we're going to have any impacts anywhere. So that one is fine there. It's really when it starts wrapping that I feel like we might have an issue. There's what I was afraid of. Looks like we're probably all clear on that one. And then that one should be easy. So yeah, looks like we're good to go on that. So now that we know that part is good, or the basic geometry of that part is good, we'll start doing things like rounding the edges, adding the attachment holes and those types of things. That the detail really matters as far as making it a real part. But I didn't want to waste that effort if we found out it wasn't something we could bend anyway. So let's go ahead and add that detail. So this is what we have. All of this is one piece here, and then it'll bolt into this bottom section, and then we'll bolt the walls to it. Is this kind of what you had in mind?
Yes, cool.
Looks great.
Okay.
The
Easier
only
then.
thing that is missing is the holes, you know, for the mosquito net for mosquito.
So right here? Okay, let's do that. What else? So what I don't know is where these feet are going to land. So it's kind of hard to tell where they're at. So I cut some gaps in it so the air would flow under it, so it would maybe cool a little bit more. So that was the thought there, but we may have to just like manually by hand trim some of these, or we may have to cut another piece. Okay. The likelihood that it fits the first time around that is pretty low, just because there's so much to do.
Console 78. It's a 79.
I knew you were going to say that. I was so close.
It's okay.
It was a gamble, you know, so I was like, we'll go 78. So one of the really cool parts about this machine, the little squares up in the top, so those are 2 cameras.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now, I'll be able to take a picture of that, and then I'll be able to put our nest onto it and make sure it fits. So this is one of the reasons we chose the Mitsubishi machines over some of the others, is they have a lot of stuff like that that makes these sort of one-off projects a lot easier than if you did a big. Yep, exactly. Yep. So for a V1 of this, it fit surprisingly well. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. This one I consider a pretty good win. So all of the exterior structure measured out really well, so pretty happy with that. Even the spacers that create the airflow underneath the platform turned out well. The one thing we are going to do is we're going to change where the back wall of the sort of cargo box comes to. So we're giving a little bit more storage space. So we're going to move this line, which was the original line for the wall, back to sort of this edge on the cutout for the parking brake. Other than that, there aren't really any changes. This guy I knew was going to be really hard to hit first time. So I made a few scribbles on here. We're going to go back and redraw that. The wall pieces turned out great. So now the last step is to put nut certs in, and then we can do an assembly. I believe it'll install as one piece, but I wasn't sure. So I did nut certs just in case. Sometimes when you turn it in sideways to fit, things get in the way, like gear shifters or seats. So the nut certs are kind of some insurance to see if it would go in one piece, but we'll find out. There it is. So this is our custom console and dog platform with air cooling for the Land Cruiser 79. I think it's pretty cool. Let's go see if it fits. First official fit. It's in.
That looks amazing.
Let's see what you think.
Wow, perfect.
Super.
Wow,
Awesome.
perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So the last piece we have to do is sort of like a little safety panel. And what it's going to do, so once the front part is bolted in, the front won't move, but the back could come up a little bit. So we're going to build a little plate here that rests underneath this surface, and that'll keep the platform from tilting forward without having to use any of the seatbelt bolts. As a rule, I like to stay away from seatbelt bolts and things like that are safety related. So this will let us be a no drill, no destruction to the vehicle way to keep this console in place. But I couldn't measure that until we had the platform in. So that's what we're doing now.
Clap a little bit. Okay, one more
I
time.
know, I was messing with Card. He said clap a little bit. So this is the last piece of the puzzle. This is our small little bracket that's going to keep the console down so we don't have to sort of attach it to the floor. There's not a lot of weight in it, so not a huge concern. This is just sort of like a little safety bracket. We added a little piece of edge molding to the top to keep it from rubbing on the plastic in there.
Our princess.
Can we flash up? How is it? Good?
Good.
Very nice.
Good fit.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so here is the final product. So we made sure and leave plenty of room for the handbrake. We definitely have a lot of room for the gift shift lever, and of course we have room for Mosquito. She looks very content in her custom platform with air cooling down below to keep the heat away, and tons of room inside the box here to add more things, and looks like it's gonna work out great. We added almost zero weight. I think the completed product weighs about 3 pounds. So nothing to worry about there, nothing to get wet. If you spill a drink, you don't have to worry about the wood swelling or anything like that. So yeah, I think everybody's happy with it, especially Mosquito, and yeah, very cool. Okay, well, thank you guys very much for putting up that little charade to do some cool things, but I hope it serves a purpose. I hope it makes Mosquito happy, and you guys get some use out of it on the rest of your trip. So.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you so much. It's great. I love it already.
Good, good. Well, we just want to show off the process a little bit and let everyone know kind of how we did the creation from concept to drawing to manufacturing to installation, and I hope you guys get a bunch of use out of it.
That's
So,
perfect. Cool.
so
Thank you
where are you
so
headed
much.
next?
Moab.
Moab. Okay.
Moab.
Well, it's a perfect time of year to be in Moab,
Yeah.
so the
And
weather will be
If
great.
it's getting cold, we go to Baja.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
the
we have to.
freedom
Yeah.
to do that. That's great. So cool. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll have more of these to come soon, and we'll find some more unsuspecting victims around the Home Depot parking lot. So make sure you guys subscribe and check out the rest of the videos.
Cool.
All right, thanks.